rang, loud and sharp, slicing through the chatter of the classroom. Kaizen Mizuki sat by the window, his chin resting on his palm. Outside, cherry blossom petals drifted slowly in the spring air. He watched them fall and wished he could disappear with them. "Hey, Mizuki!" A shadow loomed over his desk. Kaizen didn't look up. He already knew who it was. "Did you do the math homework?" Takumi asked, tapping Kaizen's desk with his knuckles. His friend stood behind him, laughing quietly. I did," Kaizen replied softly. "Good," the boy grinned. "Then hand it over." Kaizen hesitated. His fingers tightened around his notebook. But the notebook was snatched from his hands. "Too slow," Takumi said, flipping through the pages. "Man, you're useful only for this." Laughter erupted. Someone shoved Kaizen's shoulder. His chair scraped against the floor. "Hey, careful," another voice mocked. "He might break." Kaizen lowered his head. He had learned long ago that fighting back only made things worse. Teachers never saw it, or maybe they pretended not to. The bell rang again, signaling the end of the break. The boys tossed the notebook back onto his desk. "Later," Takumi said with a smirk. "Don't forget tomorrow's homework, too." They walked away as if nothing had happened. Kaizen stared at his desk. His heart felt heavy, like a stone sinking deeper and deeper. "Why am I even here?" he thought. After school, the sky was painted orange. Most students left in groups, laughing and talking. Kaizen packed his bag slowly, hoping to avoid attention. "Hey, you!" His body froze. 3 boys blocked the classroom door. Same ones and Takumi leading them. "You think school's over?" one of them said. "We're not done." They dragged him to the back of the building, near the old storage shed. The place was quiet, too quiet. Kaizen was shoved against the wall. "Give us your money," Takumi said. I don't have much," Kaizen whispered. A fist grabbed his collar. "Then we'll take what you do have." Before Kaizen could close his eyes, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Let go of him!" Everyone turned. A girl stood a few steps away, her school bag slung over one shoulder. Her short black hair swayed in the wind, and her eyes were calm but cold. "Huh?" one boy scoffed. "This doesn't concern you." "It does," she replied simply. "You're being noisy and annoying." The boys laughed. "And what are you gonna do?" Takumi stepped forward. The girl sighed, setting her bag down. "I'll ask once more. Let him go." Something in her voice made the air feel heavier. "Ch." Takumi raised his hand. In the next moment, he was on the ground. Kaizen didn't even see how it happened. 1 second the boy was standing. The next, he was groaning, clutching his stomach. The other 2 froze. Who are you?" one stammered. The girl looked at them, bored. "I'm Aoi Kanzaki. Now leave." They didn't argue. They ran. Silence returned. Kaizen slid down the wall, his legs shaking. Thank you," he said, barely louder than a breath. Aoi picked up her bag and looked at him. Her expression softened just a little. "You should stand up," she said. "The ground's dirty." Kaizen nodded and forced himself to his feet. "I'm Kaizen Mizuki." "I know," she replied. "You're in my class." That surprised him. She turned to leave, then paused. "Bullies only pick on people who don't fight back. Remember that." Kaizen watched her walk away, the fading sunlight framing her silhouette. For the first time in a long while, his chest felt warm. He didn't know it yet, but that moment was the beginning of everything changing. The school gates slowly emptied as the final bell echoed across the campus. Kaizen stood near the shoe lockers, tying his laces again and again, even though they were already tight. Students passed by in groups, laughing, complaining about homework, talking about games and food. He felt like he didn't belong to that world. "Still here?" That calm voice made him look up. Aoi Kanzaki stood a few steps away, holding a canned coffee from the vending machine. The evening light reflected softly in her eyes. Oh, yeah," Kaizen said. "I was just about to leave." She walked closer and stopped beside him. "You live this way?" she asked him, pointing down the road. He nodded. "It's not far." "Good." She took a sip of her drink. Then let's walk. Kaizen blinked. Together? Is that a problem? She asked, tilting her head slightly. No, not at all. They stepped outside the school gates, the sound of traffic mixed with the distant chirping of birds. For a while, they walked in silence. So, Aoi said, you're always alone. Why? The question was sudden. Kaizen almost stumbled. I guess I'm just not good at talking, he replied. That's not an answer, she said plainly. Kaizen forced a weak smile. Then maybe I'm bad at making friends. She glanced at him from the corner of her eye. You don't look like someone who wants to be alone. Kaizen didn't respond. Aoi slowed her steps, a concerned look covering her face. Do they bully you often? He stopped walking. Yes. How long? Since middle school. Aoi's grip tightened around her can. And teachers? Kaizen hesitated. His throat felt dry. Some of them, he said quietly, they think I'm useless or lazy. So, they hit me sometimes, or make me stand outside. Aoi's eyes widened, just for a moment. That's not normal. Kaizen laughed softly, but there was no joy in it. It felt normal to me. They continued walking. And your parents? Aoi asked. Kaizen's chest tightened. This one hurt the most. They want me to be better, he said. Top grades, perfect behavior. They say it's for my future. He paused. But no matter what I do, it's never enough. Silence fell between them again. Inside Kaizen, something twisted. There was a dark, heavy place in his heart. Memories he never touched. Being pushed into lockers. Chalk thrown at his face. Being told to endure because boys shouldn't cry. Being compared to others. Being told he was a failure. He had sealed all of it deep inside. If he spoke, he felt like he would break. So he smiled. I'm fine now, Kaizen said. You don't have to worry. Aoi stopped walking. Kaizen turned back, confused. Aoi? She looked straight at him. Her gaze was sharp, yet gentle. You're lying, she said. Kaizen's smile froze. Your words say you're fine, she continued, but your eyes don't. He opened his mouth, then closed it. Aoi sighed. You don't have to tell me. Not now. She stepped closer, her voice softer. But don't pretend like it doesn't exist. That kind of pain doesn't disappear. Kaizen felt his hands tremble. Why are you being so kind to me? He asked. Aoi looked away, the sunset coloring her cheeks orange. Because I hate seeing people pretend they're okay when they're not. She turned back to him and gave a small smile. Let's be friends, Kaizen Mizuki. Friends? Yeah, she said with faint smile curving up on her lips. I'll walk with you sometimes. Talk with you, that's all. Kaizen nodded slowly. Thank you. As they parted ways at the crossroads, Kaizen looked at his reflection in a shop window. Behind his calm face, something was still broken. A silent wound, unhealed, watching. And for the first time, someone had noticed it. Then the night came quietly. Kaizen lay on his futon, staring at the ceiling of his small room. The light was off, but his eyes were open. Tomorrow's classes, unfinished homework, his parents' voices, the faces of those boys, all of it mixed together in his head. I'm tired, he thought. Slowly, his breathing softened, and then cold wind brushed against his face. Kaizen opened his eyes. Huh? He was standing. No, he was on the school terrace. The metal fence, the cracked concrete floor, the faint smell of rust. It was all too real. The night sky stretched above him, deep and endless, filled with stars. This is my school, Kaizen whispered. He looked down at his hands. They were solid. He could feel the chill in the air. His heart began to race. I'm dreaming, he said. This has to be a dream. He pinched his arm. It hurt. Why does it feel so real? Footsteps echoed behind him. Kaizen turned around. A boy stood near the door leading to the stairs. He looked about 8 years old. Small body, messy brown hair. Simple clothes like something from an old photo. His eyes were strange, too calm, too serious for a child. Who are you? Kaizen asked, stepping back. The boy tilted his head. You can see me? Of course I can see you, Kaizen said. This is my dream. The boy smiled faintly. No, this place is not yours alone. Kaizen swallowed. Then answer me. Who are you? The boy walked closer. His footsteps made no sound. I am you, the boy said. Kaizen's breath caught. That's not funny. I am the part you that doesn't belong here, the boy continued. The one who kept watching. Kaizen shook his head. Stop it. If you're me, then why do you look like a kid? Because that's when it started, the boy replied calmly. When you first learned to endure. The wind grew stronger. The fence rattled softly. Kaizen felt a strange pressure in his chest. What do you want from me? The boy looked up at the sky. They're coming, he said. Who? The boy's eyes reflected the stars, but something dark moved within them. Not bullies, not teachers, not your parents, he said. Something far worse. Kaizen clenched his fists. What are you talking about? They're coming for your planet, the boy said quietly. This world. Kaizen laughed nervously. Aliens? Monsters? This is ridiculous. The boy turned back to him, his expression sharp. Do you think pain only exists here, he asked? Do you think suffering belongs to just one world? The sky trembled. For a brief moment, Kaizen saw something beyond the stars. Shadows moving, massive and slow like watching eyes. His legs shook. Be ready, the boy said. Soon you won't have the choice to stay weak. Kaizen tried to speak, but no sound came out. Why me? He finally whispered. The boy stepped closer until they were face to face. Because you survived, he said, and because something inside you is still asleep. The terrace began to crack. Light flooded Kaizen's vision. Wait, Kaizen shouted. Tell me more. His eyes snapped open. He was back in his room. Sweat soaked his clothes. His heart pounded violently. The clock beside him blinked 3:17 a.m. A dream, he breathed. But then he noticed something. On his wrist, faint but real, were finger marks, like someone had grabbed him. Kaizen stared at them, his blood turning cold. What was that?